AI sector continues to grow, as you can see here from CryptoRank, up 15.68% when it comes to market cap over the last 30 days, currently coming in at $16.88 billion. Number one, we have a Render Network, but the focus of today's video is going to be the number two ranked AI coin, which is Bittensor. We're going to talk about what exactly is Bittensor, the price, some tokenomics, and whether it is a good project to put on your watch list. Now, if this is the first time you've ever heard of Bittensor, it is the world's first neural internet. So it plays into the AI narrative. Now, what is TAO Bittensor? It is revolutionizing the development of machine learning platforms by decentralizing the process and creating a peer-to-peer market for machine intelligence. It enables a collective intelligence of AI models to come together, forming a digital hive mind. And it also allows for rapid expansion and sharing of knowledge. The Bittensor protocol establishes a marketplace that transforms machine intelligence into a tradable commodity. So the race to AI, the race to program these large language models has begun. It is heating up, and Bittensor is looking to shake things up in that space. And here, just reading this from the website bittensor.org. Bittensor is a mining network similar to Bitcoin that offers censorship-resistant access to a decentralized network of machine learning models. By leveraging digital incentives and rewarding participants directly for their contributions of computational resources, expertise, and innovation, Bittensor establishes a comprehensive open-source ecosystem of AI competencies. The native currency TAO constitutes both reward and access token to the network. Now, each TAO token signifies the contributions made by developers and the quality of their models. The value of TAO extends beyond the mere currency, as it serves as a representation of the collective intelligence and insights contained within the network. So how does Bittensor, the protocol, work? It is a decentralized machine learning protocol that enables the exchange of machine learning capabilities and predictions among participants in a network. It facilitates the sharing and collaboration of machine learning models and services in a peer-to-peer manner. So it has three sets. It has the subnets, the validators, and the nodes. So network architecture here, the Bittensor network consists of a set of nodes, also known as miners, that participate in the protocol. Each node runs a Bittensor client software that enables it to interact with other nodes in the network. There's also a registration. So it operates through a registration process that involves the registration of a hotkey. Now, you can either do this by solving a proof of work, or by paying a fee using the recycle register method. The subtensor, now once it's registered, a node can become part of a subnet, and each subnet has its own set of registered nodes and associated machine learning models. Think about just a bunch of little islands that are working to validate and make predictions and get information out there, and the most valuable, the best information essentially wins. Now, validators, they ensure the integrity and quality of the data and models being exchanged within the network. This section talks about mining. So miners in the Bittensor network provide machine learning services by hosting and serving their locally hosted machine learning models. When a client application requires a prediction, it sends a request to the Bittensor network, which routes the request to a miner that has registered itself as a provider for the required services. So these are the little islands, right? Some subnets validate different things. Others do different things. I believe there's up to 20 or 30 of them. The miner processes the request using its locally hosted machine learning model and returns a prediction back to the client via the Bittensor network. So this is the peer-to-peer marketplace that we talked about earlier. Now, the incentive. Miners and validators are rewarded with tokens for their computational resources and their accurate predictions. This also talks about the consensus mechanism of Bittensor. We're not going to go over that. But I do want to talk about proof of intelligence. This is a consensus mechanism used in the Bittensor network to reward nodes that contribute valuable machine learning models and outputs to the network. So they're rewarding not just information, but quality and good information. It is a variation of the proof of work and proof of stake mechanisms that are used in blockchain networks today. But instead of solving complex mathematical problems, nodes are required to perform machine learning tasks to demonstrate their intelligence. Very interesting here. Now, what problems does Bittensor want to solve? training AI models require vast amounts of data and computing power, which is mostly accessible only to large corporations and research institutions due to its high cost. This is one of the biggest fears. This is partly the reason why Fetch, Singularity, and Ocean decided to come together and pool their resources, because it just takes so much time, money, and resources and manpower to really build out these AI and large language models, that if this barrier to entry remains high, you're going to have companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft just completely run away with it, and that is definitely not something we want to see. This concentration has led to permissioned and siloed AI models, limiting collaboration and hindering compounding effects in AI development. Siloed models cannot learn from each other, and third-party integrations require permission, leading to limited functionality and value in the AI ecosystem. Now, what is the goal of Bittensor? Through cutting-edge techniques like mixture of experts and knowledge distillation, the platform establishes a collaborative network where knowledge producers can sell their work and consumers can purchase this knowledge to enhance their own AI models. And so this is very intriguing, because not only can just a random person who's trying to train an AI model, if it's something you'd like to do for fun at home, who knows, you can access and buy these knowledges on the Bittensor network, but you can also have these massive companies like Tesla and Microsoft and Google. They also have access to this knowledge as well, and they can pay for it and buy it. Big companies like IBM, Google, or Microsoft, but also smaller ones, will pay TAO to use the various models inside the Bittensor network for their own projects. The reason why big companies like IBM, Google, or Microsoft, as well as smaller ones, would pay TAO to use the various models inside the network is because the centralized AI industry is highly ineffective. For instance, Google alone spends 75% of its electrical costs only on machine learning today. As AI research compounds itself every year and new models have to relearn what previous models have already learned, these companies will likely find it advantageous to use the most effective and largest neural network in the world provided by Bittensor as an addition to their own machine learning networks. I love this because it's trying to bring everyone together and trying to be open source, and everyone has access to the same information. Now, so we're going to get into the total supply in a little bit, but I do want to talk about their founders really quick. So you have two founders. You have Jacob Robert Steves. So a couple things I look out for here. So obviously, Bittensor full-time, but he did work as a software engineer at Google for a year and 5 months, and he does have a BA in applied science, mathematics, and computer science. And also his business partner, Ala S., he also has some background in AI learning. So machine learning researcher from Toronto, Canada, and he was also a senior software engineer for Instacart for a little over 1 year. He's got a PhD in computer science. So these are some big brains working at Bittensor. Now we're going to get into the token price, token metrics, and take a look at the Bittensor chart. Validity is what DeFi is truly meant to be. It's an ecosystem where everyone benefits equally, from the founder to its latest token holder, where every single transaction, from the minting of Validity to its trading fees, generates Ethereum. Validity is focused on resolving one of crypto's biggest problems: rug pulls and pump and dumps. They do this by providing liquidity through smart contracts instead of the traditional liquidity pools. Use the link in the description to find out how you can earn Ethereum without locking periods. Now, Bittensor is ranked number 38 according to CryptoRank.io. It is actually one of the few cryptocurrencies that is up in price at the time of recording, up 10%, $545.10. We're taking a look at their tokenomics. So they do have a max supply of 21 million. So just like Bitcoin, 21 million. Now, max means, difference between max and total, max means there's absolutely no more. There's no more inflation after 21 million. Some projects don't have a max supply. They only have a total supply. Bittensor has a max supply, which 31% of that is currently circulating at, which is 6.5 million TAO tokens. We'll get into the actual chart, but just look at this run up from TAO. This is on the daily chart, going back to middle to end of 2023. It ran all the way up to $750. So massive movement from TAO. And then taking a look at their tokenomics. So what is the total supply? As mentioned, 21 million tokens, which is the same as Bitcoin. This fixed total supply is designed to limit inflation and maintain the scarcity and value of the token over time. The distribution of TAO tokens is gradually released over time through mining rewards, staking rewards, and community-driven initiatives. The tokens are used for governance, staking, and as a means of payment for accessing AI services and applications built on the Bittensor network. Now, the emission process works like this. This is from the Bittensor website. Every block, which is around every 12 seconds on the Bittensor blockchain, a single TAO token is created or minted. A percentage portion of this token is allocated to each of the 32 subnets in accordance with the subnet's performance. So you're getting paid, again, based off performance and the quality of the information. The root network determines the percentage portion for each of these subnets. At the end of every tempo, which is 360 blocks, in a user-created subnet, the TAO accumulated for each of those subnets is emitted into the subnet. This emitted TAO for the subnet is then distributed within the subnet as follows: dividends to the subnet validators and incentives to the subnet miners. So everyone is being incentivized to put out good information. Now, taking a look at the Bittensor chart, also known as TAO. So this is Bittensor on the daily. You can see here we did break out of a massive head and shoulders pattern, which saw the price go from $642 to under $460 at the time of recording. We are looking to retest this neckline here, which is our immediate level of resistance, which is right around $621. If you are looking for the best possible entry, if you're a price sensitive investor, you want to see how the price is going to react towards this neckline. Is it going to get rejected and have a spill off? If it does spill off, is it going to hold up the last low, which was $493, or are we going to set a lower low? If we do set a lower low, we want to zoom out to maybe the 3-day chart. We can go ahead and hide this head and shoulders pattern. Take a look at our price action concepts and where can we potentially catch some support. Well, the first level I'm looking at here is this equilibrium zone between $378 and $402. So again, this is, if your time horizon is 5, 6, 7, 8 years, does it really matter if you can, wait for a $50, $60 drop versus watching this thing absolutely run? But if you want the absolute best price target, these are the targets that I look out for. Are you bullish on Bittensor? Do you hold any in your wallet? Let us know in the comment section. Also, come check out our live show Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.